Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi. My name is Stacey Nell. I'm the Executive Director of the Kansas African American Affairs Commission. And today, this is a pre recorded, so hello to everyone in the future. This is a pre recorded episode of our Lunch and Learn. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Terri Barnes. Hi, Terri.
Hi.
It's like, I want to make sure you're there. I've asked her on because of her work with the Nia Project and specifically Black Women Get Fit. So we're going to talk about that a lot today. Okay, let me read a quick bio. Terri Barnes is a passionate advocate for Black girls and women. Ms. Barnes is the founder and president of the Nia Project. The Nia Project celebrates, invests, and reimagines possibilities for Black girls and women. Ms. Barnes is the convener of the Black Women Get Fit, the ultimate day party, a morning of sisterhood and wellness where hundreds of Black women come together to experience fun, fitness, and seminars from local experts that address health and wellness from a Black woman's perspective. As the co-founder and president of Trace's Place, a community resource for girls and women for more than 15 years, and the board chair of the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, Ms. Barnes has experienced up close and personal the challenges that girls face simply trying to live their best lives. The Nia Project is a way for her to commit her time and resources to be a part of the solution. Ms. Barnes has spent more than 30 years working in the financial services sector and previously held an FINRA licenses 663 and 26. I don't even know what that means, but if you've got licenses, I'm going to mention it. She currently serves as the vice president of programs for the Association of Customer Contact Professionals and was recently appointed the chair of the Mayor's Commission on Reparations in Kansas City, Missouri. Ms. Barnes is a graduate of the Kansas City Public School System and received her undergraduate degree in business management from Park University. She's married to Lee Barnes Jr., 5th District City Councilman, and has a wonderful son, Lee Barnes III, currently residing in New York. So thank you so much, Ms. Barnes, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
Fantastic. So the first question I always ask is, what are you having for lunch? Or have you already had lunch?
I have not had lunch, but I had a late breakfast. I had a pretty big breakfast. I had bacon and eggs, rice and toast.
Well, so you're still full.
I'm still full.
And I haven't had lunch yet. So my stomach is probably going to be growling through this. So hopefully it won't come through. All right, so let's move on. The Nia Project. What's the history of the Nia Project? How did you start it? Why? Just what would you like to share about that?
Yeah, so in my bio, you talked about an organization I founded back in 1999 called it was called My Sister's Keeper. And when we became a 501c3, it was called Tracy's Place, a community resource for girls and women. And me and some of my girlfriends ran that organization for 15 years. But when we did it, we didn't really understand the nonprofit world. We never had any funding, and we just kind of went in our own pockets and provided the funding for food, travel, anything that the girls needed to do. So we did that for 15 years, and we ended up letting it close, went back to our corporate jobs. At the time, I was the board chair for the Du Bois Learning Center, and it got to be too much for me. So we turned our attention to that. And I just knew that as I began to wind up my career, I knew that I would turn my attention back to girls and women because things have gotten even worse, in my opinion, now than they were then when we were doing that work. So the Nia Project is really a 2.0. It's really a 2.0 of the program that we started in 1999. It was very focused on girls, and they were from 9 to 15. And it was very much a personal development mentoring program. And so here we are, fast forward to 2020 with the Nia Project. Its focus primarily has been on women, which is kind of an interesting shift. We still support girls significantly. We don't have a program specifically for girls. We're working on that right now, and we hope to launch one in 2024. But for the past 6 years, we've been very focused on Black Women Get Fit, which is our signature program offered through the Nia Project.
Okay, so when you talk about the program, when you did programs for girls, what were those programs that were focused on girls?
Yeah, so it was what we would do was we would treat the girls almost like you do in corporate. We bring them in for a strategic planning session and we would ask them, what do you want to learn more about? What are you struggling at in relationships or in school? And based on what they told us, we would create programming. So we would offer a program the third Saturday of every month. And then every quarter we would try to do a field trip and take them out. And we did that for 15 years. And for 1 year, we had a part-time coordinator. But outside of that, all of the women in the program, all of the mentors in the program, we all just ponied up the money and we paid for it ourselves. Because again, at that time,
Wow.
none of us really understood the nonprofit world or really how to access the grants and how to really develop it into a program. We were just trying to do something to support the community. But in that 15 years, we
Wow.
serviced over 300 girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And so now, that's fantastic. I wish I had known you then, because I could have helped you out with the whole 501c3, so 501c3 world.
Yeah.
So now hopefully you figured out how to get funding. Yes.
We yes, we are in a much better position now. We know a little bit more about that world now. So
Okay, good.
I tell you a really passionate story for me. One of our mentees back then, she was 12 and she went through our program. She is now a PhD candidate in a reading program in Texas. And she recently consulted with us to develop a reading program for students. So to be on a Zoom call with this, I mean, the last time I saw her, she was probably 18, 19 years old, graduated. And so now she's got 3 kids of her own. She's moved to Texas to start her career, but she graduated from Shawnee Mission High School. And she is a PhD candidate in reading. So it was just meaningful, just very meaningful.
Oh, that's the kind of story that warms my heart.
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
I find a lot of the interviews I do with people, the theme that continues to come up is like, we can't be what we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that you reached out to her as a 12-year-old to give her like a vision for the future to help her become the woman that she is now is fantastic. And then she's going to turn and do that same thing for people who are coming up behind her.
Yeah. And it's really funny because so often it's really hard when you're mentoring and you are working with these young people every day. It's really hard to feel like you're making a difference because it never stops. Mm-hmm. It never stops. They keep coming. They have shortcomings, whether it's academic or relationship skills or conflict management. And they and every year you get a new round of girls and they have these same issues. And you just don't know if you're making a difference. And then 10 years or maybe even 2 years or maybe 6 months, you see them and they really let you know that although we didn't know they were listening, they were listening. Makes a difference. Yes.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're focused mostly on the Black Women Get Fit. And that is how I came to know about you and your organization, is through Black Women Get Fit. I can't even remember what call we were originally on. We were on a call where we were not talking to each other.
There was a big old Kansas. There was a big old Kansas state call, the government. I can't remember. COVID. It was when we were back in COVID. And the Nia Project received funding during the COVID months to come over to do Black Women Get Fit series in Wyandotte County, because we were looking for creative ways to introduce and educate people on COVID. And we are actually still doing that. We had an event at Boys and Girls Club on 12th and Troop in Wyandotte County just this past Saturday. And we gave out 4 COVID shots. So the numbers have significantly subsided, but we were able to get 4 shots in arms.
Wow. See, that's so needed. That's so needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Because I remember you were talking and I was fiercely like, contact this woman. So tell us about how you started. What was the idea? What was the germ of the idea? How you worked through the Black Women Get Fit?
It has been such an organic thing. So first of all, you should know, and what everybody should know, I am the worst fitness person. I struggle. You heard me say I had a big breakfast. So I am the person who constantly sets goals. I read books, I get started, and then I fall off. And that's shocking to people because I host this wonderful program called Black Women Get Fit, where we talk about health and wellness. But I think that I am the perfect example of everybody's challenge. You know what to do, but it is so hard to do it, and it's so hard to stay committed to it. So back in 2018, I was on a walk with one of my girlfriends who was part of Girl Track, which is a national organization. And back then they had a goal to get 1 million Black women walking. Their goal was to get Black women walking 30 minutes a day, I think 3 or 4 days a week. So on this walk, she was telling me that the two founders were going to come to Kansas City and they were going to try to recruit women to be part of Girl Track. And so I said, well, we can't let them come to Kansas City and Black women don't show up. We need to come up with some type of an event so that we can get names and numbers and email addresses. So when it comes to Kansas City, we can invite all of these women to the event. So at the time I was with the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. This was in May. I was with the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, and we had our anniversary in October. So we had already booked the gym theater on 18th and Vine. And so I knew we had it at night. So I thought, well, we're going to use it during the day. So we picked that same day, and we decided to do a fitness event. And we were going to just invite everybody, do an Eventbrite, invite them to this fitness event. We caught all of the people that we knew personally because we didn't have any money. We weren't an organization. We just wanted to create this thing so we could get these names for Girl Track. So we called Estelle Brooks and we called Dee Barker. We called all the local Nikki Fit, all of the folks that we knew. And every single one of them without hesitance said they would do it. So then we called 18th and Vine and started getting people to give us space. They all agreed to give us space because, again, we don't have any money. So we did this event and 200 women came on 18th and Vine for half a day of health and wellness. So we gave out T-shirts and we had drinks, and we just did this out of our pockets. So after it was over, women were walking up to us going, well, when are you going to do this again? And we were like, well, I'm probably not going to do it again because so about a week after we did that event, Girl Track decided not to come to Kansas City. So they decided they weren't coming to Kansas City. They may come the next year, but they weren't going to come this year. And we were like, what? So we would run into these people and some of the instructors, and they say, that was really good. You guys really need to do that again. So 2019 came along and we did it again, and 400 women signed up.
Wow.
So, we thought, this is probably a thing. These women are showing up. And for us, we got a chance to meet so many Black fitness instructors and so many Black wellness instructors, because what we discovered is we couldn't just do physical fitness. We wanted to also do, spiritual fitness and career readiness and all of those other things that help us be complete. So all of these women were volunteering their time. They kept saying yes. And all we did was hosted it. So we kept putting these things on. Now, because of my background, I come from management. In 2019, we did a survey because we wanted to begin to track where are these women coming from, what challenges are they having, what would they like to see addressed? And we just did it that way. And then in 2020, COVID hit. And so we did the entire program online. We were all bummed because we figured nobody's going to do this online. All of the fitness folks, all of the workshops, we brought everything online. We had 20 cities and 4 countries all looking at Black Women Get Fit online.
Wow.
So after that, we decided, you know what, this is probably a thing. And I knew that I was preparing to retire. And so for me, my heart has always been with Black girls and women. And this thing was doing something that I wanted to continue. And so when we decided to make it term it the Nia Project so that everything could fall up under that organization, I knew that I would pull girls back in and then continue to be consistent and talk about how we could really improve the lives of Black women as well. And here we are, 2023. We've gone from an annual event to a monthly event. And this year we moved over into Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County. August, we're going to be in Wichita. And in October, we're going to be in Topeka. So we're really excited about the growth.
I didn't know all of that backstory, so I'm fascinated to hear all of that backstory. That you did all this work for another organization that wound up not even sure. Then you're like,
here's the beautiful thing. So we told them, and Vanessa Garrison, the founder, she came to Kansas City for our 5th annual. So she showed up, and so she got to hear the story, and all the girl trackers came in from St. Louis and Omaha, and it was just a beautiful thing. So we are wonderful partners with Girl Track, and we stay very close in touch with them. We think it's a fantastic organization.
well, that's wonderful. Okay, so Black women get fit. So walk us through what a day looks like. I have attended one. I went to the one in Wyandotte County a couple months ago, and loved it. But walk us through, what's the layout? What if people are thinking, gosh, that sounds interesting, what can they expect?
Yeah, so you pre-register. So a month in advance, we put the classes out. We always try to mix it up, and we invite in different instructors because, again, part of our mission is to introduce these wellness instructors to the larger community. So we typically will have 3 physical fitness experiences, 1 mental health experience, and 1 career-focused or faith-based experience. So you get 5 choices. And you pre-register, you pick your 3 choices because they start it's like a pub crawl. So you come in at 8:30. We do a lot of fun stuff in the beginning. Classes start at 9. And at the top of each hour, you go to a new workshop. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, everything's over at 12. We have raffle prizes, and then your morning is set and you go on your way. But we are very intentional about making sure we have fun, making sure that we have things that can really help connect women to each other. And it's exciting for us as we have these every month now, that they bring their friends, they see each other that they hadn't seen since the previous month. And we just think that all goes to a mental health and wellness and community. So we know it's working.
Fantastic. Sidebar, I am a yoga instructor.
You know what? I knew that because I think so we'll have to keep that in mind for Topeka and Wichita. I would love.
I have my 500-hour yoga certification. I focused on Ashtanga, so I can do, but I do chair yoga and gentle yoga, prenatal, like the whole 9. So
that's incredible because we had this past Saturday, we had a whole gang of probably, I would say 8 to 10 women that were over 70, and they were doing yoga and they were doing the walking. Girl Track was there. So that's the other really great thing. We have this whole span of women that show up to do a variety of different exercises. And I love to see that whole intergenerational thing happening.
Okay, now I think we might be having technical difficulties.
Uh-oh.
I can still hear you, but your image is frozen. So we may have to cut short or maybe record again or something like that. But
okay.
If we truly are running out of bandwidth, I'm at the library. So if we're trying to run out of bandwidth, there are a couple things I want to make sure we get down. So tell us, because I can still hear you. I think I can still hear you. Tell us about the event that we're planning in Wichita.
So the event that we're planning in Wichita is going to be Saturday, August 19th. It's going to be on the Wichita State University campus. It's going to be a half-day event, very similar to the layout that I just explained, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11. There's a group of sponsors that are bringing us there. KCBL, and I'm trying to think of, KCBL is what's in my head. KBCL, Kansas Black Leadership Council.
KBLC.
That's it.
Yeah, Kansas Black Leadership Council.
Yes, Benita Gooch's newspaper, The Community Voice. And also I think that the Kansas African American Commission is helping to sponsor this event. And I believe we will have a guest speaker, which means after all of the workshops are over, I believe Mrs. Gooch would like to have a guest speaker, which is always great because once the women finish with all that workout, they can come back together, reconvene. And we usually try to find a really fired up speaker to really talk women's empowerment. And we all leave on a very positive note. So we are looking forward to that. And you know, the other fun thing.
Okay. So that is
the other fun thing that I was going to say, there are quite a few women in Kansas City who have expressed interest. So we may have a bus from Kansas City headed to Wichita for that event. So we're really excited about that.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. You said that's August
August 19th.
No, August 29th.
August 19th.
19th. You would think I would know this. I'm helping.
August 19th. You will
August 19th. August 19th.
August 19th, and you will begin to see
August 19th in Wichita on WSU's campus.
Yes, and you will begin to see save the dates and invitations that will hit coming out in July. We didn't want to start too early.
Right. Okay, so it hurts my heart that technology is not cooperating. August 19th, there's a Black Women Get a Fit event planned on WSU's campus. Yes. Closer to the event, there'll be more information coming out. KAAAC will put out more information out because I've had a hand in planning that event in Wichita, and then there will be an event in Topeka in October. We're still in the planning processes for that to get that nailed down. Yes, I'm so excited to be a part of this, part of these efforts dealing with Black women being healthy, not just physically, but physical fitness, mental fitness, financial fitness, just life fitness and life skills in that way. So,
yes, all of that.
Are you still there? Okay, good. I'm like,
yes.
I hate that technology is not cooperating.
I'm so sorry. Me too.
This just means I'm have to have you on again.
I would love to come back because I love this stuff. I'm excited about it. Women do show up. You just have to be intentional. We are really busy. We won't make time to do it for ourselves. But if it's planned, if it's laid out, and all they have to do is show up, they will. And we've proven that they will.
Fantastic. This just proves that you're going to have to come back. I'll have to have you on again. I have no problems doing that. So we'll call it here since my technology is just not working with me today. It's not being cooperative. It makes me sad. But thanks everyone for joining us for the Lunch and Learn. I'm not sure which day this will go up. It might be, the 3rd. I'm crossing my fingers that I have the 3rd of July off. And then the 10th of July, I know I will be on vacation in Jamaica. So it's my 20th anniversary week. So we're leaving the country. But this may go up on that Monday as well. So we'll post it. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for our Lunch and Learn. And I will see you soon.
All right. Bye. Thank you, Stacy.